This week on the Digital Coffee, Instagram is going to allow you to save drafts of your stories so you can go back to them and post them later on. WhatsApp is going to let you speed up voice messages when you listen to them, and you'll soon be able to watch YouTube videos on Twitter. All that and more after this. Good morning, and welcome to the Digital Coffee. This is your weekly dose of digital marketing and social media news for small business. My name is Amanda Webb, and once again this week I am time traveling. This is yesterday, or is it today? I've travelled from yesterday where I had to record this because right now, right at this very moment, I am teaching people how to make video with their mobile phones. So I couldn't be with you live this week. All will be back to normal next week. Yes, I know it's Good Friday, but I will still be here live. And I have some really interesting news stories for you. Everything else should be the same. So if you are watching on Facebook, hello. If you're watching on Facebook and you leave a message, I will send you within about 20 minutes a copy of the Digital Coffee newspaper via Messenger. And I think I've worked out the bug from last week. You will get that newspaper. So what should you say? Tell me what's in your mug. Even though this is pre-recorded, I'm still waiting till I finish to have a cup of coffee. Let me know what you have. I have had my cup of tea this morning. Or you could answer the question of the week, which is chatbots. Do you love them or do you hate them? I'm interested to know how people feel about them now. Have people's opinions about chatbots changed? Or if you don't want to comment either of those, just say hello. That will work as well. I will send you your Digital Coffee newspaper. It's a PDF. You'll be able to read it in your own time. You'll be able to click through to the links and you'll be able to find out some more information. If you're watching on YouTube, a massive hello to you on YouTube. I will post the link to where you can sign up for the Digital Coffee, and that way you get the Digital Coffee newspaper every week that way until I work out some way to deliver it through a bot on YouTube. That's what you'll have to do. Let's get on with the news because there's lots of news this week.
You're watching the Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Have you ever started creating an Instagram story and then you've got distracted in the middle? Maybe a child's come into the room who needs something. Maybe your cat jumps on your computer, or maybe the phone rings, or you get a direct message from someone that you have to deal with and that story gets abandoned. Or maybe you get mad inspiration in the middle of the night and you start creating your Instagram story. But if you post it now, nobody's online. Nobody's going to see it. You want to post it later. Now, of course, you can just download that story onto your phone and upload it later on when you're ready to post. But that means, features like your interactive polls and Q&As and all those don't work. Your hashtags aren't clickable. If you're tagging anyone, that's not clickable because that's all just like saved as a video or a photo on your phone. And that means when you go round to upload it later on, you have to add all those elements in. Well, not anymore. It looks like, it actually is being tested at the moment. Instagram have announced that saving stories as drafts is coming. And this is exciting because we can already do it with Reels. So it makes sense that we should be able to save our story drafts and publish them when we want to. And that does mean that we can plan ahead. It means we can batch create some stuff. We can have stuff for a rainy day when we're just not got our makeup on properly and we really want to post the story. So I'm kind of excited about this feature. I think it will be a massive help to a lot of social media managers and a lot of businesses.
Hi, I'm Carmel Siri and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
As you know, if you watch these videos a lot, I am not a fan of voice messages because I think when we type, we're a lot more concise, right? Because we don't want to bump it out with a whole lot of stuff. We just want to get straight to the point. But we don't do that with audio messages. We want to be polite. So we say, how are you? We might talk about our day a little bit before we get to the point. And this means that voice messages are long. They take a lot longer to read than it would a text message. And what happens then is you go, oh, that's a voice message. Well, I can't listen to it now because there's other people around, or I haven't got time to listen to that now. I'll come back to that later. And then, of course, we forget about them, or the point of the voice message is lost because we've left it so long. Well, not anymore, because WhatsApp are testing something that I think could work really well, which is speeding up. When you go and listen to a voice message, you will be able to speed it up either 1.5 times or 2 times so that it just plays through a lot faster. Yes, you're still going to have to put your headphones in if you are in an environment where other people can hear, but it does mean that you'll be able to consume that a lot quicker. You'll be able to pull out the key points and it will become a much more valuable form of messaging. So a big thumbs up from Spiderworking here for that tool. Thank you, WhatsApp. I don't know, is it going to work? I don't know until I get one of these and I get this feature, whether it will mean that I will actually listen to the messages properly, but it is a step in the right direction.
I'm Ian Anderson-Gray and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
When you post a video to LinkedIn from YouTube, if you post just the link to that YouTube video, it appears on LinkedIn beautifully, it plays within LinkedIn beautifully, it's seamless. If you try and do the same on Twitter, when you post a link to it, it may even show a full thumbnail in the feed, depending. People click on it and they're sent off to YouTube. And they didn't want to go to YouTube, they just wanted to play your video. And it takes time, it takes bandwidth. I always find it annoying that it doesn't always go directly to the app when I want it to go directly to the app. So you're losing viewers. From Twitter's point of view, wouldn't it be better for them, because we know social networks want to keep people on the social networks, if people could just watch the video there on Twitter without leaving the platform, so they're all part of it? And the difference with Twitter to other social networks is we can't even upload this video that we've created natively, because for most accounts you're limited to 140 seconds of a video. There are some exceptions. You may notice my videos on Twitter are longer than 140 seconds, but in most cases you can't upload your 10-minute YouTube video there. There could be a solution though. It looks like Twitter are working on an option to let you play a YouTube video directly in the feed, just like you can on LinkedIn. And I think this is fabulous because it's great for creators, because people will watch your videos. They'll actually watch them rather than going, oh God, I'm going over to YouTube now. That's not what I wanted. It's good for YouTube because I'm imagining at the end of the video, that stuff still comes up that will promote people wanting to watch more videos on YouTube. And it's also good for Twitter, because Twitter will be able to retain people on their platform. So this is good all round. Well done, Twitter. The weird thing is, I swear, back in the old days, you used to be able to do this anyway. So when did that feature disappear? I knew it had gone. And, what was the decision to bring it back? Either way, I'm really happy to see this come up.
Hi, I'm Charlie Lawrence and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Can Clubhouse survive if all the other social networks steal it? And I think there's a big difference here between Instagram stealing Snapchat, Instagram stealing TikTok, YouTube stealing TikTok, because Clubhouse is only a year old. And I know it's getting more and more users, but it's probably not well established enough to survive. And that's probably quite a sad thing, because social networks have got savvy and they're stealing stuff before it even happens now. We know Audio Spaces has been in the works since before Christmas on Twitter. And, I am loving Audio Spaces, I have to say, because it's not somewhere else I have to go. I can access this cool new feature within one of the social networks I use all the time. Last week, we saw that Instagram appears to be working on audio rooms. And this week, it has been spotted in the wild by Alessandro Palusi. It looks like it's about to come to Facebook. And of course, Facebook are able to react really quickly to this trend, because basically rooms, if you haven't used them before on Facebook, they're a bit like Zoom. You can have group video chats, you can have them in a group, you can broadcast them live. You can have private chats. All they needed to do was remove the video, right? So now it looks like, pointing in the wrong direction, it looks like you're going to be able to launch audio rooms really soon. And the options you're going to have is for a live audio room. And that will just be like a Facebook Live, although people listen to it instead of watching it, which I'm sure a lot of people do already. Or you'll be able to have a private audio chat. So, it's nice to see these new features popping up, but it does mean that I think Clubhouse is possibly doomed before it's even found its feet. And as much as I'm not using Clubhouse, that does depress me a little bit.
Hi, I'm Catherine Mason, and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
It's not often that we talk about Facebook stories, but Facebook stories are used by a lot of people, more in fact, globally than any other story platform that Facebook owns. They're really hot. And that's interesting that they are just launching a feature to Facebook stories that we have had on TikTok, on Instagram Reels and Instagram Stories for a while, but it is one of my favorite features. So if you are just a hardcore Facebook user, I thought I would introduce, ta-da, green screen. Green screen. What it does is basically like a Zoom background. So you can put a video or a photograph in the background of your shot. What's better than Zoom backgrounds is that green screen, when you put green screen on, you'll be able to see where the background is going to sit. So sometimes when you're using a Zoom background, your kind of face merges in with the background. There's just a little nose or a pair of glasses sticking out. You'll be able to see in advance if that's going to happen and maybe change your location so that you get a better separation between you and the background. And this can be really good for if you want to talk about a product that you've just created, and you can say, here's a picture of the product and this is how we created it, and talk through that. It could be a really good way. If you've got any ideas, let me know in the comments, because I think this could be a really effective tool. If you've got a video that you've just made, if you want to show a screenshot of something happening, you can actually talk people through it, a little talking head in the corner going, and then you click this button. I think it's great fun. I really do love this tool. Just one little tip, if you are using, even for Zoom backgrounds or for green screen, try and make the background very differentiated from you. So if you're wearing similar clothing, sometimes a similar color clothing or a similar tone of clothing, because the contrast isn't strong, you may not stand out from the background. So actually, don't wear white against a white background would be the big thing. But also maybe lighting the background. So making sure you've got a light pointing at it so it's easier for them to differentiate it. Of course, with green screen, like I said, you can test ahead of time. So if you are a Facebook user exclusively, or if your audience are Facebook users exclusively, when you get this feature, this could be a really fun way to jazz up your content.
Hey, it's Andy at Content Cal here, and you're watching a Digital Coffee with a...
Hi, I'm Kyra Fingleton from Glamping Under the Stars, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
The problem with Twitter audio spaces is that there's not enough going on yet. I know I would use them a lot more if every time I went into Twitter, I saw those audio spaces lit up at the top. Now, the other day, there were like 3 at one time. That was kind of exciting, but usually there's very little going on in audio spaces. And that's because, it's all down to who you follow. How many people you follow have access to this tool, how many people are actually running audio spaces at the time that you're logged in. It's going to be really selective. And that's why I was glad that Jane Manchun Wong, who we've mentioned a lot of times on this show before, discovered that it looks like Twitter are about to add a new tab to the bottom menu next to Discover and all that stuff that's going on there, just for spaces. And I think this will be so helpful, because I imagine we're going to be able to see a lot more spaces rather than just the people we follow In the future, it would be nice to see them categorized as well, but maybe that's just dreaming. Either way, I think this will get more people using Spaces. And as we know, they are looking to roll this out to everyone in April. So then we're going to have a lot more spaces to choose from. So that Spaces tab will become so important. Let me click the right button this time. Sorry if I played Andy twice.
Hello, this is Rob Charles, the voice of Mike on Forever FM on Peter Kay's Car Share. BAFTA award winning, I've got to say, but I've not seen the BAFTA yet. Anyway, you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Enjoy. I'm on tea. Shh.
It's not always appropriate to respond to a comment on social media publicly. So maybe it's a customer service thing and you need to take it into a private message because you need to get some more information from people. Or maybe actually one of the things I love about Instagram, or maybe I don't love, but I think it's kind of cool about Instagram, is you can't post a link anywhere, basically. You can't post a link in the comments. So if somebody's looking for your latest lead magnet, you have to direct message it to them, because when you direct message someone, that's when you can use a link. It's going to get a lot easier because this was spotted during the week. Just like on Facebook, you're going to be able to message people directly from the comments on Instagram. And this is a tool that I actually use on Facebook to deliver my digital coffee. It's built, the chatbot is built into this tool, so I can send it directly to you because you have commented on my page. And this, I think, is going to be big for lead magnets. Like I just mentioned, it's a great way to make sure you're delivering the right content to the people who actually want it. Put up a thing, I've got this digital marketing strategy guide. Do you want it? Leave a comment below and I'll send it to you. And then you can just click that message button to send them the message with the link. It also means you don't have to go to, you could do this already, but you just have to click through to the profile and then do a whole load of things, send a message. This is quite seamless. But what I think is really significant is that by introducing this, is this one step closer to having bots on Instagram. By giving us this feature that we know hooks up with bot tools on Facebook, are we going to be able to utilize this on Instagram in the future? I think we're going to see bots quite soon on Instagram. Whether we love them or we hate them, I think they're a great feature for businesses when they are used well. And that's it for the Digital Coffee for this week. Next week is Good Friday. I will be here. There is news on Good Friday. I will be here, same live in person, same bat time, same bat place next week. Until then, bye-bye.